Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to get the most out of your smartphone. So more specifically, we'll be talking about the best apps to download to achieve this. So our goals for today are to provide you with knowledge about the capabilities of your phone and to go over many different types of apps that make use of all the various capabilities on your phone, and also to give more specific examples of apps that you are able to download right now and start using right away. So there are already many built-in smartphone features, and different phones will always obviously include different features, but here are some features that are more so universal and built into most of our smartphones. So these include flashlight, compass, calculator, lost device finder, to-do lists or reminders, notes, alarm clock, stopwatch, and timers. So as well, there are different categories of apps. So the built-in features of your smartphone also allow various apps that aren't necessarily already on your phone to become possible. And there are so many things you can use your smartphone for. So we will be reviewing the following categories to the right. So communication, utility, travel and navigation, learning and education, entertainment, photo and video, financial, health and fitness, productivity, and security. So downloading apps on your phone is very easy. So your apps can be downloaded using your phone's already pre-installed e-store. So this varies based on what type of device you have. So on Apple products, it's called the App Store. And on Android products, it's called the Google Play Store. The App Store looks somewhat like the blue icon to the right with the A. And then the Google Play Store is basically an arrow with 4 different colors in it. Navigating e-stores is also very simple. So the easiest way to find an app on the App Store, if you have a specific app in mind, is to use the search function, and it looks somewhat like a magnifying glass. But also, if you don't know any specific app that you're looking for, you can always explore various categories in your e-store. So these categories can be like games, entertainment, news, and all sorts of different categories. And you can also explore the top downloaded apps. Like sometimes they have top charts. So this tells you what apps a lot of people in your country like to download. So that's a very easy way to find different apps that could be useful to you. Downloading the right app is also a very important thing to look out for. So if you are ever unsure about a specific app that you're about to download, always make sure to check the reviews, because these can be really, really helpful. They can always some apps can always be free, but they sometimes have in-app purchases, which can be really annoying sometimes because they'll have ads constantly and other limiting features. So it's very important to check other people's reviews on the app and see whether they had a good experience with it or not. And you can also use your preferred search engine or Google, Bing, or whatever you use to research it research it a bit more to find out what you like. And also, as I said before, always look out for the in-app purchases label, and it should be it should be displayed on the App Store it should be very obvious. If it says in-app purchases, it will have a label. And this means that even though many the app itself is free, many features you might have to pay for them. So always look out for that. Our first category we're going to go into is utility. Utility apps take your phone's camera, and it uses this to detect its position to turn your phone into the ultimate tool. Measure is one such app, and Measure basically helps you with quick everyday measurements. As you can see, they're measuring the length of a door, the width of a table. And it's very, very useful. It's basically your own portable tape measure, but you simply use the camera. Smart Ruler is very similar to Measure in this way, except it's more so targeted towards smaller objects. Like if you had a tiny piece of paper that you wanted to measure, you would just place it on the screen, and then you can use the ruler on the screen to measure the length or the width of whatever object you're using. So this is called Smart Ruler. Laser Level is basically another measurement app, and it's equipped with laser pointer, regular 3-mode spirit level, bubble level, and a clinometer for measuring vertical angles and determining the exact horizontal plane. So this would be useful for if you're trying to level a painting or maybe wood. So if you're interested in that sort of use, you should definitely check it out. It's called Laser Level. CalcKit is also a very, very useful app. It's an all-in-one calculator. So it basically compiles all different calculators like the scientific calculator. It also has an equation solver, currency converter. You can find percentages, areas, volumes, and so much more. And it just compiles it all in one into a singular app. So this is very, very useful for like your everyday calculations. Next up is apps for travel. So if you're someone that likes to travel a lot, even if you don't, and it's useful for even if you stay at home. It's very, very like, you can use it whenever. There's a lot of great apps in that category. So our first one is Gas Buddy, and this is for people who are very budget minded for like gas prices. You basically input your location and it will help you find the cheapest gas prices around. So it's very, very useful for like North American drivers to save on gas. That's called Gas Buddy. Next up is the Weather Channel. Most people are probably familiar with this one. So if you watch the Weather Channel on your TV, this is basically the same thing, but it's in app form, and it will give you live updates via notifications. So it's very useful if you're traveling somewhere or even in your own like city. You can use Weather Channel to find out the weather for 7 days today or like 14 days, I believe. So it's very, very useful. Next up is Yelp. Yelp basically compiles a lot of reviews about businesses and restaurants worldwide. So you can find the best restaurant in your city or the best restaurant if you're in a different city. It's very, very like, you can use it to find the best places to eat, shop, drink, relax, visit, and play. So if you're ever going out, I would definitely recommend Yelp. Next is Google Translate. So if you're going to somewhere where they don't necessarily speak English and you don't know the language, Google Translate would be very useful. You can translate between 108 languages. And also if you see a sign you don't necessarily understand, like a stop sign in France, you can translate it like by taking a picture and it will translate it to English for you. So this is very convenient and I would definitely recommend Google Translate. OpenTable is also something that compiles reviews, but it allows you to book like a reservation at a restaurant that you'd like, and you can discover over 50,000 restaurants. So it's very useful in that aspect if you're looking for new restaurants to try out. So yes. Our next category is education and learning. And many phone apps have made it very, very easy to learn any type of skill or language that you have been wanting to learn, but you've never known where to start because it's really hard to learn a new language. And yeah. So the first one we're gonna go over is the ASL app. So it has over 2,000 plus signs and phrases, and it makes it super easy to start out with American Sign Language. So if you're interested in learning, that's a great place to start. The ASL app. Next up is a very popular option, and this is Duolingo. Duolingo, it basically helps you to learn over 35 languages, and the lessons are super easy. They're very small, like short. They're 5 minutes max, I think. And it's very it's very useful because they make sure to remind you a lot to practice the languages. So if you're someone who isn't necessarily consistent with learning, it will really help you out with that. So Duolingo is very useful if you want to learn that. Any language, really, 35. Next up is Rosetta Stone. So this is very similar to Duolingo, but if you don't really like the format of Duolingo, I would recommend using Rosetta Stone. So it's, again, for learning languages. Next up is Elevate. Elevate is basically brain training games. So this helps you to stay sharp, build confidence, and boost productivity. So it can help you like sharpen your reaction time and processing and other stuff. So it's very useful if you want to stay sharp. And yeah, so I recommend Elevate. Mimo is a fairly new one. This one is for coding, and it teaches you multiple computer languages like Python, JavaScript, HTML, and many more. So if you're interested in computer programming, Mimo is a great place to start. Next up is SketchAR. So if you're someone who isn't necessarily artistic like me, I'm not artistic, but the app puts virtual images on a surface and it lets you trace the drawings from your phone. So if you've always wanted to draw something and you don't have the skills, you could just it lets you trace off of the surface. So this is very like an amazing place to start out. Youscian is for the people who want to learn how to play guitar, bass guitar, ukulele, and sing even. And it's basically your personal music tutor. So it will help you fix your pitch, I guess, if you're singing. And it gives you instant feedback on your accuracy and timing. Next up is Hobbies. So there are so many apps for whatever your hobby may be, from cooking to bird watching. There should be an app for it. First up is sewing and patterns. So this is basically a large sewing community. So if you're interested in sewing, it will have a lot of projects you can participate in. And it's such an enthusiastic sewing community. So if you like that, definitely check sewing and patterns out. Next is Paprika Recipe Manager. If you really like cooking or you want to make meal plans or create a grocery list, this is very useful because it compiles all your recipes, your grocery lists, and everything into one app. So this is a great place if you like cooking and want your recipes all together. That's Paprika Recipe Manager. Next is Picture This. So Picture This identifies many plants every day, and it has a 98% accuracy rate. So you basically take a picture of any plant you see outside and you can identify it really easily. So if you're interested in horticulture or other, like even birds of paradise, I think, it will really help you to identify it and become more familiar with different variations of plants. Next is Seek. So Seek is similar to the last one, and it helps you to identify the plants in addition to various animals all around you. So you just take pictures and it will identify them for you. Next is SkyView Lite. So this is for people who like stargazing and enjoy astronomy, I believe. And that uses your camera to precisely spot and identify celestial objects in sky, day or night. So if you want to start out with that, it's SkyView Lite. Next is eBird, and this is operated by Cornell, the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. So this basically, you can spot a bird and you can record it, and it links it to a global online database of bird records used by hundreds upon thousands of birders around the world. So it makes it easy to identify what bird you're looking at. Next is a really important category, finances. So with the popularity of online shopping and subscriptions like Apple Music and Netflix, it can get really easy to lose track of what you're spending. So finance apps help you to keep track of what you are spending. First up is Mint. So Mint is powered by TurboTax, and it's a free money manager and financial tracker app, and it brings together all your bank accounts, credit cards, bills, and investments so you can know where you stand each month. You Need a Budget, or YNAB. It helps you break that pattern of going paycheck to paycheck, and it will help you get out of debt. And apparently, on average, people have saved 600 in the first 2 months and more than 6,000 in the first year. So that's a really great app if you have that habit. Clarity Money also helps you manage your budget. So it uses machine learning to analyze your spending habits and your personal finances, and it can help you make smarter decisions about your money. So this will really help in budgeting. So that's Clarity Money. Next is health and fitness. So with us being on our phones much more than before, sometimes it's easy to lose track of your health and well-being. So smartphones can also be a tool to promote your health and well-being. So these are a couple of apps that would help that. Headspace is geared towards meditation and sleep. So it helps you relax basically, and you can choose from hundreds of guided meditations on everything from like stress management and anxiety management to sleep, personal growth, and mind-body health. This is a really popular one, and a lot of people use it. So it helps you practice mindfulness. So that's called Headspace. Next is MyFitnessPal, and this helps if you want to get healthy and change your eating habits, lose weight, and tone your muscles. So this one's a really great one. It's called Calorie Counter MyFitnessPal, and it tracks basically your eating habits, your fitness, and everything. It's called MyFitnessPal. Next is My Possible Self. So this one tracks your mood, and it understands what signs and symptoms to look out for. So this can really help you improve your mental health and well-being. So this has, I think, 10 learning modules to choose from, and it's a really great option. Sleep Cycle is targeted towards people who maybe have a hard time going to sleep. So this one helps you to relax, sleep better, and wake up feeling rested. And it's basically a smart alarm clock. You can track your sleep from the time you go to sleep to the morning, and it will give you like a detailed analysis of how your sleep went and other factors. Next up is productivity. So this one can help you to work smarter and not harder, and you can really get organized by using this category of apps. The first one is EverNote. So this is a notes organizer and a daily planner. And it helps you to take notes in one easy to access location, and you can share these notes with anyone. And it's very good if you're very busy and you have a lot of notes to take. And it syncs to all your devices. So if you take it on your phone, it will sync to your computer. So it's a great option for note taking. Next is Microsoft Office. So you've probably heard of this one before. It compiles all the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and many more in one app. And it's very easy to use, and it syncs on all your devices. So if you make a document on your phone, you'll see it on your computer. So this one, most people have heard of it. I would get it. I have it on my phone as well. It's Microsoft Office. Next is Todoist, and it's a to-do list, tasks, and reminders app. So it helps you keep track. If you're a very busy person, you have meetings all the time, and even if you like need it for other things like grocery list, I guess, it will help you organize and plan all this out, and you'll have it in one singular location so you can access it very easily. So this is Todoist. Next is Pocket. So Pocket basically compiles all the cool articles, tweets, YouTube videos that you've been interested in along the whole day, throughout the whole day, I mean. And you can just compile it in one app. So this is Pocket, and you can see them at night or whenever you want to look at the things you've found interesting. It's in Pocket. Next is security. So now that you have all these amazing apps on your phone, you definitely want to make sure that your phone is protected. And you should always make sure your phone is secure by adjusting your data sharing settings in your apps. So you can go to settings to adjust these data sharing settings. And you can also download the mobile versions of your preferred antivirus software like Norton and Password Manager. Also, we have covered a lot of great apps in this presentation, but there are so many apps out there, and they are really useful. So always make sure to research any apps that you're interested in. You can just go into Google and type in something you're interested in, and it's very easy to find apps. So keep doing your own research and let us know what your favorite apps are.